I'm going to play a clip for you today of someone who lacks any skepticism whatsoever when she is told again and again and again and again and again by Republicans things for which they have no evidence. We're going to play a clip now of Maria Bartiromo on Fox News. Maria Bartiromo, a longtime Trump brown-noser, interviewed Republican Congressman Andy Biggs. Andy Biggs made the claim without any evidence that the Biden family has taken in 20, 30, or even $100 million as part of their, what they love to call the Biden crime family, bribery, and all these different things. There's no evidence of any of that. And Maria Bartiromo, instead of saying, "Oh, Congressman, do you have any evidence of that?" she goes, "Holy moly, holy moly."
Maria, we're talking literally, it's not $10 million. It's well over $20-30 million, and some estimates as high as $100 million flowing through.
Holy moly.
These
holy moly
accounts. And so we have to get to the bottom of it, but we're getting slow walked ourselves from the administration, obviously, and their partisans and their supporters. But this looks more and more sinister every time we look at it. And I just, if we could release the SARS, which we cannot, they're classified yet.
Yeah. But anyway, you get the point. Not, do you have any evidence of that? Not, can you prove the stuff? Not, the whistleblower you said was there, nobody's spoken to in 3 years. Not, the tapes you said existed now seem to be missing. None of that. None of that. Just holy moly. Now, beyond just a little bit of skepticism, there's also this other thing that I do think is important to bring up. By all public accounts, Joe Biden is worth somewhere between $8 and $10 million. He's 80 years old. Certainly, Joe Biden is wealthy by global and American terms, without a doubt. Now, interestingly, for his age, Joe Biden is not actually in the 1%, being worth $8 to $10 million. You can look it up yourself. That's a whole other story altogether. Can you imagine how differently Joe Biden's financial disclosures and his life would be if he really had certainly 30, 40, or 50, or in particular, if he had close to $100 million? People with $9 million and people with $100 million typically live very differently. Do you have people with 100 million that live just like someone who has 9 million? Yes, you do have that, particularly frugal individuals. But when you have to build another layer into the conspiracy, which is not only are the claims about the Biden family taking in somewhere between 30 and $100 million in bribery and gifts and all this different stuff, not only are those claims unproven, you also have to believe that everybody is fraudulently putting out financial disclosures, including Joe Biden, to hide the fact that he has that much money or whatever, right? The point is, there are multiple layers that you immediately have to start thinking of, if any of this were true, for which they have no evidence and for which there is no evidence. And Maria Bartiromo, who used to be a pretty good journalist, I have to say, when she was with CNBC, when I was growing up and starting to get into following the stock market and investing and such, she can muster up nothing other than holy moly, really pathetic stuff.